joining me for this full-length Pilates mat class using the box for our exercises. If you don't have a box or something that you can substitute for a box, no problem. It is possible to do all of these exercises on the mat as we do them. Also, if you have head, neck, or shoulder problems, please set up an area behind your box with the headrest box or a ball, or I have set my moon box up back here and put a ball on top for a headrest. Something where you can rest your head, neck, and shoulders. We will be articulating up instead of flinging our bodies up using momentum. We'll articulate up using our abdominal muscles to take breaks. We will take breaks by stretching out in an expanded position over the box. Not good for back, neck issues such as that, maybe not a shoulder issue. But we will be doing a lot in curl up and a lot of planking today. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to come to the front edge of the box. I'm going to sit on the box like I would to do footwork on the chair. So my sits bones are going to be up at the front edge of the box. I'm going to be stacking my shoulders over my hips. At this point, I have squeezed my legs together to engage my inner thighs to really get those nice and warmed up. I'm going to roll my shoulders up, back, and down. Nice open collarbone. I'm going to cinch my ribs together from there, so I'm not flaring my ribs out, feeling it in my back. I'm going to draw my abdominals up and in and stack my shoulders over my hips so the box of my body is completely lined up. I'm going to rest my hands gently on my upper knee, thigh area, and from there, I'm going to tuck my pelvis. When I tuck my pelvis, nothing's happening from here up. It's just a simple tuck. It's very small to see. Release, and then tilt your pelvis back, so your pelvis is reaching up for the back, or your tailbone's reaching up for the back of your head, and back to neutral. It shouldn't look like this. It should just be a little tuck. Feel your abdominals pull up and in. Leave those abdominals pulled up and in as you tilt your pelvis back. You shouldn't dump out the front and release your abdominals. Now tuck and neutral, and tilt and neutral. Tuck, draw abdominals up and in, wrap those ribs. Leave them wrapped as you tilt. Tuck, tilt, let's do one more. Good, from there, I'm going to separate my feet slightly so that my sits bones are lined up with my heels. I'm going to keep an engagement on my inner thighs. We're going to roll down to the tips of our shoulder blades and articulate back up. We're going to reach our arms out in front of us as if we're serving the tray brownies. I have a slight bend in my elbows. My palms are reaching up. Nice wide collarbones. When we're doing this, we're going to try to keep our sacrum as imprinted as possible on the box. So our feet reaching down so low. Sometimes we have a tendency to tilt depending on how tight our low back is. We're going to try to stretch it out and warm up our low abdominals here, or our upper abdominals, or all our abdominals. Tuck your tail and articulate down. Try to keep equal distance between your knees the whole way down, the whole way up. I'm going to stop right here and draw my ribs to my hips. You don't want your feet to feel light. Otherwise, you will know that your quads and your hamstrings are taking over. Your quads and your hip flexors. So we're going to tuck our tail and roll back. Try to put as much emphasis on the articulation as you can, using your abdominals as much as possible. We're as slow and controlled as possible. The load of our arms is helping us here. Now, when we roll back, we tuck and then we articulate back. Our chin begins to tuck towards our chest, but shouldn't rest on our chest. Just like in the hundreds position, we should have a space between our chin and our chest. Enough for an apple, an orange. My favorite one I've ever heard is pretend there's an egg between your chin and your chest. If you crunch your chin to your chest, your egg yolk will break and you'll get yolk all over your shirt. If your chin goes up too far, your egg will roll away onto the floor and will also break. Squeeze under your arms. Wrap your ribs. Find that nice wrap. With the planks that we'll be doing later, you're going to really be helped by this wrap of your ribs and squeezing under your arms. Nice long neck. And exhale to come back up. From here, we're going to articulate down I'm going to interlace my fingers. My thumbs are going to be nice and long. I'm going to rest my head in my hands, make my thumbs long down my neck. I'm not curling up, but I do have my head lifted just a slight little bit, still keeping that space between my chin and my chest. Inhale, exhale. Bring my legs up to tabletop. With my legs up in tabletop, make sure that your knee is stacked over your hip. Now bring it closer in and make it easier in your abdominals. With my legs right here, I'm going to do some toe dips. So I'm going to inhale my right leg down. I'm going to stop at approximately where the top of the box is and exhale it back up. I'm going to lower my left leg. Again, I stopped at where the top of the box is because if I dip it lower, which I can do, but you have to keep your sacrum stable. My hip dipped a little bit. I could feel it. Go ahead and test it on the other leg too. Really anchor down, anchor down, anchor down. Anchor down, I feel the shake. So, we're gonna stop at approximately the top of the box. Really anchor everything down and pull it back up. We're just preparing for the rest of the work. We have a lot of work in curl up here. So we wanna make sure that we're just really getting everything ready and getting a nice warm up. So again, our head is in more of a slight lift in neutral. Just a nice little rest. We're pulling everything down away from our ears. So squeezing under our arms. Good. From here, we're going to squeeze our legs together. We're going to do a double leg toe dip. Reach it down approximately the top of the box. I feel my earthquake abs here. My abs are shaking a whole lot. And inhale, squeezing my legs together strongly, wrapping my glutes, really keeping control of my ribs. And here's 5. And one more for 6. From there, I'm going to bring my knees tight into my chest, hold on behind my knees, squeeze in under my arms. I'm going to reach my legs away from me slightly as I articulate up. Don't reach them so far away that you topple forward on your box. You're going to come to a nice, balanced position. A modified rolling like a ball position, let's say. You'd be right here, but we're going to be right here for a rest position. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail. Reach your legs away from you again so you can control the articulation down so that you don't just fall back. We're going to stay in a curl up position unless it hurts your head, neck, or shoulders. You can go ahead and rest your head in your hands or rest your head over your headrest if you have it, the ball or headrest or head box back there. We're going to inhale, exhale, reach my right leg long, pull my left knee into my chest. I'm reaching my left hand towards my left ankle, my right hand's on the inside of my right knee. I'm going to inhale through tabletop and exhale to switch to the other side. Left hand on the inside of my right knee, right hand on the outside of my right ankle. Find tabletop and switch. Tabletop and switch. Curl up deeper. Reach that leg long, shooting energy out of it. Drop your abdominals. Nice flat sacrum. And now we're going to draw everything back to tabletop. Reach our hands towards our ankles. Curl up deeper. Wrap your ribs. Draw your ribs towards your hips. Inhale. Reach your legs long to working level. Reach your arms back so your biceps are by your ears. Exhale your arms to a T. And when they get to the T, pull your legs back into tabletop. Inhale. Exhale to a T. Pull it back in. When you inhale, make sure that your sacrum's flat. Draw your ribs to your hips. Curl up deeper. Halfway there. We're going to 6. One more. And then we're going to come back into the resting position. Hold on behind your knees. Reach your legs away from you. Rock up to the resting position. Good. We're going to curl back down. We're going to rest our head in our hands. Reach back into that modified neutral position. Inhale, exhale, curl up. And lift. Don't drop below the box. Stay in neutral with that slight little head up. And now we're going to inhale, exhale, curl up, reach your legs to working level, and pull it back in and rest our head, neck, and shoulders. And reach and pull back. On this next one, we're going to stay up and go into hundreds.
Reach your arms long. Shoot energy out of your legs. Drop your legs low enough to where you can engage your glutes. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 3. Don't forget about the egg, apple, or orange under your chin. Drop your lower abdominals. Wrap your ribs. A straight inhale. On the 5 count. Like you're fogging a mirror. On the exhale. 2 more. Pump your arms vigorously from the underarm. Squeeze the underarm as you do it. Stop. Hold on behind your knees. Reach your legs long. Come up to sitting. It is much more difficult to do this exercise on the box because you are staying engaged the whole entire time because your head is lifted. So, inhale, exhale, lower. We're going into scissors. If your head, neck, or shoulders are hurting, go ahead and rest them on the headrest behind you. Reach your legs up to the ceiling. Reach your arms long first. Now, reach your arms up, and we're going to pull our right leg and switch. Pull. Don't let your hip come up on the leg that's working. Reach out towards your leg. Let your leg come to you, though. You shouldn't bounce up to get to your leg. Your leg will come to your arms, and then you'll pull. And your leg to your arms. Pull. Good. Good. Keep it going. Now, legs up. Head in your hands. Reach it back to neutral spine with a slight lift. Wrap your ribs. We're going to scissor our legs. Right leg to nose. Scissor your legs, left leg to nose. Now, circle, switch your legs. So your right leg's to your nose in helicopter. Now, left leg to nose, right leg to nose, circle, switch. And right, left, half circle. Left, right, half circle. Make sure that your circles aren't so wild that your sacrum's playing all over the box. Keep it nice and stable. Good, legs up to the ceiling. Now we're gonna open both legs to the side. Exhale them down into a V at working level. Squeeze into working level and back up into the center. That's a tight double leg circle. Open the width of the mat, no wider. Lower, squeeze, and lift. Think of it as a rectangular circle. One more. And now we're going to reverse. Lower to working level, open the width of the mat, lift them up to the ceiling, squeeze them together. Lower, separate, lift, squeeze, lift, and one more. Now, draw your knees into your chest, hold on behind your knees, rock up to sitting. Even though this is a rest position, it is a working resting position. If you find it is too much for you at any time, please feel free to rest your feet, or please continue to use the challenge of this is your resting position as we continue on. From here, however, we are going to rest our feet on the mat. We're going to do a tree on the box. So, nice sitting tall. Inhale, exhale. Hold on behind your right knee. Drop your shoulders up, back it up. Try to lean back when you're holding it here, slump down. We want to sit straight up and tall for this first part. We want to extend our leg and bend it. Try just to move your leg, not your body. Now extend and hold. Articulate through your foot to a flexed foot, and articulate through your foot to a pointed foot. That means pull your toes back first, and then come to a flexed foot. And then extend everything but your toes, and then point your toes. We have one more. Leaving a pointed foot, we'll do 3 ankle circles in each direction. Really finding the space. Working the entire circle. Finding that flexed foot and the pointed foot. Now walk your hands up your leg with wide elbows. Draw in for 1, and 2, and 3. And now I'm going to tuck my tail and begin to articulate back. So I walk my arms down my legs. Notice my leg is away from me. Since I don't have my foot in the safety strap, the load of my leg is going to help me get up and down. When it's straight up in the air, not only is it harder to get up and down, but you don't have that safety strap to pull on your leg to help with the load either. So, in order to get back up, I'm going to reach my leg away from me. Draw my abs to my hips. I'm trying to walk out my legs, still with light fingers. And sit up tall, 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 until you're right on your sits bones. And I'm going to begin to tuck, just like we did at the beginning of class, articulating back, just like we did at the beginning of class. Come all the way down. Now, legs straight up in the air to the ceiling, like it's opposed to the ceiling. If you're able to, bring your arms back over your head, reaching for the back of the mat. Circle your arms around, giving a nice shoulder stretch. Begin to articulate up, tip top of the head first. Coming to curl up, reach your leg away from you gently as you come back up into sitting tall. This tree position will come into play with articulating up and down when we're doing teaser at the end of class as well. So inhale, exhale, tuck your tail, articulate back, reaching your leg away from you to help you articulate down with control. Bring your leg up to the ceiling. Reach your arms behind you if you have no neck, shoulder, back issues. Try to keep your sacrum as flat as possible. We're going to do 3 small leg circles in each direction. Inhale your leg across and exhale back out. Your leg that's on the floor shouldn't be moving at all. If you go too wide, your knee will flap out to the side to help with the movement so that you don't go crazy with your rocking. We really want to wrap our ribs here. If you suffer from vertigo in tree, it is helpful to put the head box or the ball behind your head as well. So I'm going to circle my arms wide. Begin to articulate up. Reach my leg away from me as I walk up, up, up. Stay at the top. I'm going to release my arms wide to the side and lower my leg down. From there, you go overhead and go over to the left side. Inhale, exhale, lift your knee up. One side is always more flexible than the other side. My right side is really a lot more flexible than my left side, which is why I prefer to start with that one, right? So stack your shoulders over your hips and extend really and bend. And extend and bend. Wrap your ribs, draw your abdominals up and in. Now extend, articulate through that foot 3 times. Again, that means pull your toes back, pull your whole foot back. Extend your foot except for your toes, now point your toes. One more time. Nice and slow to really get the articulation. 3 ankle circles in each direction. Reverse. Walk your hand up your leg, and with wide elbows pull up, straight leg. And now, tuck your tail, keeping your knee straight, straight, straight forward. Don't let your leg drop. Reach your leg away from you. Stay in a neutral position with a slight little head lift so you don't put too much strain on your cervical spine. Reach your ribs to your hips. And sit up tall, tall, tall. Now in this one, if you're able to, you don't have any neck or shoulder or back issues, reach your arms long behind you. Circle them wide to the side for a nice pec stretch. When they reach your hips, exhale, wrapping your ribs, beginning to articulate up. Walk your hands away, reach your leg away from you as you walk up your leg. Final one, we're going to add the leg circles. Walk down 1, 2, 3, 4. Reach your arms back behind you, legs straight up to the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. You might find that on this side you're able to do your circles a little bit bigger or smaller, but make sure you're not rocking your tailbone. And now we're going to reverse for inhale and exhale. Imagine there's a hollow bowl from hip to hip. And you want to sink your abdominals down so you can find that bowl. Circle your arms wide to the side, and then reach your hips. Wrap your ribs here tighter, and begin to walk up your leg. Woo! At the top, go ahead. Release your arms, hold your leg, and lower it back down. From there, I'm going to go ahead and find the hold position behind my knees on my sits bone. And then modify rolling like a ball position. Tuck your tail. Lower down. Reach your legs straight to the ceiling. Place your head in your hands. When you do that, don't allow yourself to sink back. Curl up. Now lower your legs for 1, 2, 3, and up. 2, 3, and lower. 2, 3, up. 2, 3. Make sure you're not rocking towards your tailbone. Now with flex feet, lower. 2, 3, lift. 2, 3, and lower. And lift. 1 more. And lift. 2, 3. Now leaving your head in your hands, lower down to the neutral spine with a slight lift in your head position. We're going to do corkscrew 1. So our legs are going to rub against each other. We're going to have a completely flat sacrum. Both of our back hip bones are going to stay grounded. I'm going to go to the left, down, around, up, and center. To the right, down, around. Just like we were talking about earlier with the double leg circles, try to think of this more as a square here. It's going to help you stay a little bit more grounded with your hip bones. 1 more to each side. And to center. And then you reach to the corner, down, around, up, and center. Hold on behind your knees. Inhale, exhale. Articulate up. Place your feet down. We're going to find a swimming position on our stomachs on the box. So I'm going to come down. You can come down on your knees in front of your box. Press yourself up and pull yourself forward so that where your sternum and 12th rib meet is right at the front edge of the box. Ladies or anyone else wearing a sports bra, that will be at your sports bra strap. From there, I'm going to lower myself over the box. Nice relaxing position. Allow your neck to rest. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And now, reach up. You want a straight line from the tip top of your head out through your toes. You're looking down at the mat. You're going to raise your right leg with your glutes without shifting from hip to hip and lower. And left leg lift. And lower. Right leg. And lower. Left leg. And lower. Right leg. Left leg. Both legs for 3. And 2. No rocking to your belly button. And 1. Now keeping the lift, we're going to raise our right arm and lower. Left arm and lower. Your bicep should come up no higher than by your ear. Should be reaching up way beside you. Might come down a little lower, and that's fine. We still have a lift on our legs. We're going to lift both arms up and lower. Here's 2. And here's 3. Stay there. We're going to begin swimming and switch and switch. We're going pretty slow. We're making sure we don't rock. We're reaching our arms and legs long, but we're not putting our shoulders by our ears. Speed it up slightly if you have this nice stable box to your body. Opposite arm and opposite leg lift. Now stop and lower back over the box for a nice break. From there, I'm going to place my hands under my shoulders. My elbows are squeezing the box. I'm going to squeeze my legs together, draw my abdominals up, and then lifting my belly button up off of the box. Squeezing my ribs together. I'm going to lower my head slightly for a nice break. From there, I'm going to articulate up head first. Straightening my arms. Lifting my abdominals up and in. Stretching out the front of my hip flexors. Squeezing under my arms for a nice little mini swan. I'm going to lower back down. Squeezing my elbows against the box the whole way. My elbows aren't winging out to the side. And I'm going to reach up and lift. My legs are still engaged. My inner thighs are squeezing. And I'm going to lower. Let's do one more. If this is where you'd like to stay, please feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to take my box and scoot it back so my heads don't hit my uprights. We're going to go into a modified swan dive with our hips on the front edge of the box. If you are familiar with grasshopper,
It's like a grasshopper modification. We won't be doing the heel bees or the ankle crosses. So I'm going to come back up onto my box, bring my hip bones to the front edge. You'll know if you're not in the right spot because it will not feel good. I'm going to come up, press up into the same swan as before. Don't let yourself sink into it, lift up. Squeezing our legs, leaving a nice lift on our legs. From there, using the same arm position that I did before where my elbows squeeze back, I'm going to squeeze my elbows back as my legs lift up. And I'm going to press myself up as my legs come down. At no time am I losing my swan position. So I'm staying in swan as I bend forward, and I'm staying in swan as I come back. Think of this as a modified swan, but also a push-up with a back extension. If this hurts your hips, it certainly is not comfortable. You can put a towel or a pad at the front of the box. Good. From here, I'm going to press back and lower myself over the box. Just take a nice deep breath one more time. From there, I'm going to take my arms into genie arms. Press it into the front of the box. Squeezing under my arms. I have a nice lift in my low back, so I'm wrapping my ribs. I'm drawing my abdominals up and in. Ooh, sorry, shirt was tight. From there, I'm going to raise my right leg, pulse with a pointed foot, pulse with a flex foot, and release. This is a single leg kick with genie arms instead of sphinx arms. So squeeze under your underarms. If this hurts your neck and you have the head held, go ahead and lower it and just do the leg kicks. Good. And release back down over the box again. From there, carefully come off of your box. We're going to come to the front. I have my legs squeezed around the box. I'm going to articulate down. I'm going to come onto the arch of my foot, kind of like a footwork position on the reformer. My legs are squeezed together or my heels are separated right under my sits bones. We're going to go into a bridging series. I have my arms platformed at my side. I'm going to inhale, exhale, imprint my whole spine, draw my low back into the mat. From there, I'm going to tuck my pelvis, press into my heels to engage the back. So my legs a little bit more and articulate up. Your legs are lifted, so make sure you don't pump onto your neck. If you're worried you popped on your neck, if you can lift your head. If you can't, you popped onto your cervical spine. Now articulate back down. You'll find that when your legs are lifted, it's easier to find a full articulation in the bridge, or a fuller articulation than you would when your feet are flat on the mat. And exhale and print the spine, articulate up. Squeeze your glutes to lift and open your hips. Don't pop up onto your neck. Give your neck a nice shake. Articulate down. We're going to add on this next bridge. And lift it up. Now, draw your right leg to tabletop. Make sure that your hips are even. Extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Flex to lower leg to leg. If you drop any lower, your hips can drop. You don't want that. And point to lift. And lower. One more single leg kick. If you need a little bit more challenge, lift your legs up. Or lift your arms up, I'm sorry. Right knee to tabletop. Lower it. Now, left leg to tabletop. Extend. Now, extend. Bend your leg away from you so your legs are the same height, not any lower, so when that happens, your hip drops. And lift, and one more. Bend your knee in. Place your foot on the box. Articulate down. Separate your feet to the corners of the box. So you're in a more narrow second position for bridging. Inhale, exhale, and print your spine. And articulate up. Squeezing your glutes. Nice lift. Make sure you're not popped under your cervical spine in. Make sure your hips are even. Articulate down. Imprint your spine. Peel it off. Good. On this next one, you can add the challenge of lifting your arms up after we get up as well. And exhale to lift. Arms up. And now pulse with your right glute to lift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and left glute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You
can barely see it, both glutes pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And articulate down. Give your knees a nice hug. Rock gently from side to side. I'm gonna scoot away from my uprights just a little bit. I'm gonna bring my legs to tabletop. I'm gonna interlace my fingers behind my back. Bring my elbows up slightly to my periphery. Inhale, exhale to curl up. I'm going to extend my right leg. I'm going to rotate my upper body so my right underarm comes to my left knee. And inhale through center. And exhale the opposite direction for elbow to knee. And inhale through center at tabletop. And exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more to each side. Now, hold on behind your knees. See if you can rock up. You have to separate your legs to get up. Good. More like an open leg rocker, let's call it. I'm going to squeeze in on the box with right below my kneecap. This is wider than I would normally place my legs for any of these exercises. Most of these, your legs are squeezed together, but we are going to get a little bit of nice inner thigh work. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, place a pad or a towel underneath your hind knee so you can sit straight up. We're going to reach right in front of us, not up here, down here, right where your sternum and your 12th rib meet. Wrap your ribs, draw your abdominals up and in. We're going to do spine stretch on a 2-count breath. So inhale, reach forward, and exhale, pull back. Coming back up. And instead of trying to leg over the box, find a deeper connection with your rib to your hip as you press down into the box. So inhale, press down in the box as you reach away. And then pull back. And press down. It's not about the stretch, as it is about pushing the air out of your lungs. And up. And reach. Keep breathing. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. And press, finding that abdominal connection. Now, leaving your arms in front of you. I'm going to press forward because I'm going to hit my uprights. Pardon me. Inhale, exhale, articulate down. Using the load of your arms to help you. I'm not losing the squeeze even though the box is coming down my leg. I'm going to leave my arms straight up to the ceiling. Don't move your arms through space to help momentum get you up, but use them for the load. Inhale, exhale, articulate up in a C-shaped curve. This is a modified roll-up, so keep your C-shaped curve as you reach your biceps for your ears, as you hover your arms over your box. Now articulate back, dropping your shoulders down your back, and come back down. At a certain point, you want to leave your arms coming straight out of your sternum and 12th rib in space. So begin to C-shape curve up. Begin to articulate forward. When you need to hover your arms, begin to raise them to bring your ears between your biceps. And then pull back. And then articulate down. And inhale. See if you can locate a little bit more articulation with the warm-up out of the way. And us having rolled down so many times to we've really warmed up our roll-up today. And see if you can use the rib connection that we were just working on in the modified spine stretch to find a deeper roll-up. Now, come up to sitting tall. From here, let's shake out our legs very, very quickly. Spine twist is typically done with our legs squeezed together. We're going to squeeze in on the boxer today. Sit straight up on our sits bones. We're going to go from spine twist into saw into our first plank series. So I'm going to bring my arms to a T, bring them into my periphery, press down, spiraling out slightly to my pinky blade edge, and I'm going to rotate to the left. Don't swing your arms behind you for the rotation. If you find that you're finding a big stretch across your shoulder, touch your fingertips to your shoulders and rotate. Bring your ribs across. exercise, not necessarily a stretch exercise. We're working the obliques here. We're working other body parts as well, but think of really wringing out the obliques. So if you can bring your arms out to a T and leave them where they are in space, go for that. Now, moving into style, we're gonna rotate to the left, just like we did in spine twist. Flip your arm up as you dive down, hovering your arm across the top of the box. Instead of finding that reach, really locate that rib to hip connection like we did in spine stretch. Sit back up tall, and then rotate to the right, and dive down, flipping that back palm up, reaching, hovering the arm, really finding that rib to hip connection. Articulate up through center. As you find the rib to hip connection, see if you can pull your corset tighter or wrap those ribs even tighter, squeezing in on those muscles around the ribs. Not a big movement, but a powerful movement. One more. Now, go ahead and shake out your legs one more time. You might want to press your box down a little bit further. Don't allow it to fall off the edge. If you have a raised mat like I do. Now, I'm going to come down. I'm going to point my fingertips forward. I know it's very tempting to bring your fingers to the side to get a really nice grip. If you have wider shoulders, you can always take your box and flip it to the short box position so you can platform a little better. So if you want to do that, it'll just look like this. And then also if you have the raised mat, it might give you a little bit more room. Also, this might be more comfortable. You can do these on your knees. You can do them on your hands. Might be a lot of wrist work for this class. I am going to do them on my forearms. I'm going to press one foot back and the other. I am in a classical Pilates position, plank position. My heels are together, my toes are apart. I'm pressing my forearms in. I'm squeezing down underneath my arms and I'm drawing my thumbs up and in. If you feel yourself swaying down like this, think of tucking your pelvis slightly to go ahead and hold the plank a little tighter. Now I'm going to take my right arm and move it so my fingertips are facing my left forearm. Staying on my toes, I'm going to come to face the left side. I do still have a lift in my left side, and I am still squeezing under my arm. I'm still on my toes, or the balls of my feet. Now from there, I'm going to stack my left leg on top of my right. I'm going to lift it and lower it. And now let's try our arm as well. Lift and lower. It's a star. And lower. Leaving my feet stacked if I'm able to. Otherwise, separate them. I will lower my right hip and lift. I'm still squeezing under my arm. And lift one more. And now we're going to combine them. So go ahead and lower and lift your arm and your leg. Come back to neutral and lower and lift your arm and leg. Back to neutral. Lower and lift and back to neutral. Place your left arm back down as you come back through center. And now we're going to do a modified soft style position where we flex our feet and point our feet and flex and point and flex and point. Let's do 3 more. Make your neck nice and long. Don't squeeze your shoulders towards your neck. Good. Come back to the beginning position. Take your left arm, bring your fingertips towards your right hand, and rotate towards the right side. Make sure that your shoulders stack over your elbow. Stack your right leg on top of your left leg, and lift your right leg up and lower. And now arm and leg, and lower. One more. And now we're going to do hip dips. Keep a nice lift, lower and lift. One more. And now we're going to combo them. Lower your hip and lift your arm and leg and lower and hip dip and lift and star and hip dip and lift, star, lower with control. Place your arm back down. Come back to the center And now we're going to do a modified down dog, so lift your hips and come back down. It's going to be a small movement, just a nice release. One more, just like this, with your heels still raised. Good. And lower. And now, as you press back, lower your heels. Roll up through the balls of your feet and come back over into the plank. And lift. Lower your heels. Lift your heels. Come to your forearms. One more. And lift. Come forward. Go ahead and place your knees down with control. Sit back. Take a couple nice deep breaths. We're going to be doing some side kneeling legs, guys. So, I'm going to come to facing the camera. My word, that was hard. My right side is closest to the box. From there, I'm going to bring my arms out to a T. Begin to balance on my right leg and bring my right forearm down to the box. You can leave your arm up in the air, or you can place it on your hip, which is my preferred position. Squeeze your glutes on your right leg to press your hips forward and lower your leg and lift. You don't have to tap the mat. Good. We're only going to go to 8. And now bring it forward an inch and pull it back an inch. If you want, you can do traditional sideline legs and flex it back. And point and flex. Don't allow your hip to fly back. Keep your hips stacked. 2 more. Ooh, I feel the shake. Bring it to the center. 10 small circles the size of a baseball in each direction. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend your knee in. Press up to your hand on the box. And begin to try to find a balanced position before you place your leg down with control. Side kneeling legs are always harder on the second side, so let's get to it. Bring your arms out to a T. Squeeze your glutes to open up the front of your hip flexors to prepare your body for the work. We're going to begin to put our weight on our left leg. Ooh, floating our right leg up. Locating the balance. Oh, come on, body. Going to be down under our forearm. Our elbow's going to be underneath our shoulder. Arm up to the ceiling or on your hip. Lower and lift. Abs up and in. Squeeze your glutes on your left leg. Wrap your ribs. Draw your abdominals up and in. Final one. And now forward an inch and back. Once you get the movement, go ahead and find the point and then flex. Don't allow your hips to shift too much. Good. 2 more. Abs up and in. Now point your foot 10 small circles in each direction. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. Keep your shoulder away from your ear. Bend your knee. Press up to your hand. Locate the balance, guys. And lower your knee with control. Let's move into our second plank series. This plank series is going to be on our wrists. If it is too much for us, you can do it on your forearms, holding the plank instead of doing the push-ups. We're going to do 6 regular push-ups, lower into a child's pose, press back up, do 3 one-legged push-ups on one leg, and 3 one-legged push-ups on the other leg, then come back into another modification of child's pose. Remember, if you start to sway out your low back or feel it there, tuck your pelvis towards your nose slightly so you can try to get out of your low back and engage your abdominals a little deeper. Really wrap your ribs here, squeeze under your arms, nice long neck, squeezing your inner thighs. Everything we've been doing up to this point has been working up to the push-up. So, on your wrist, think of instead of collapsing into your wrist, to put more weight onto the balls or onto the pads of your fingers to evenly distribute the weight a little further. Walk one leg back, and then the other. Traditional Pilates push-up position, toes together, or toes apart, heels together. Now inhale, exhale. My push-ups are a work in progress. First 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Onto your knees. Leave your hands where they are and sink down into child's pose. If you don't have a shoulder issue, you can sink down into the child's pose where my hands are raised above my head. If you do, please don't do child's pose on the box. Shoulder, neck, or back issues, please don't do this. If you notice, my wrists were right under my shoulders for the push-ups. So inhale, exhale, press back to quadruped, press it back into the plank position. Just like we did earlier with the swimming prep, I'm going to float my left leg up using my glutes. I'm going to do 3, 2, 1 push-ups, lower my left leg, bring my right leg up. Don't splay your hips, just use your glutes to press it up. 3, 2, 1, lower your leg, lower your knees with control. Press back to a child's pose. Take your left hand, thread it underneath, trying to rest your left shoulder on the mat, looking towards your left hand underneath your right arm. Come back to center. Find the center child's pose. It's amazing how raising your position off the mat can change your whole workout. Now take your right hand, thread it underneath your left arm, trying to place your right shoulder on the mat. Guys, we have teaser, and then we have a couple stretches to do, and we'll be all done with class. Come back through center for a couple nice breaths. Begin to articulate up, tucking your tail, lifting up, feeling the support of the front of your body as you come up to sitting with your shoulders tucked over your hips, wrapping your ribs. I'm going to take my box, put it a long way, put it in the middle. Good job, guys. So, today I'm going to be doing teaser with my legs in tabletop. You can extend your legs over the box just like you would in reformer. But when we go to do the last portion of the teaser exercise, it may have helped you. It helps me drastically to keep a flat sacrum for the entire series. I'm going to draw my legs up to the modified rest position. Articulate down to tabletop. Reach my arms up overhead. If you need the support, place the ball or box behind your neck. Circle my arms wide. And then exhale so we can articulate up, wrapping my ribs. Pressing up into teaser. Nice open collarbone. I'm going to circle my arms 3 times in each direction. 2, 3, and 1. Stretch nice long in your legs. 2, 3. Bend your knees into tabletop. Articulate down with control like we've been doing from the resting position the whole class. If you start to feel this too strongly in your quads or hamstrings, please diamond your legs in a wide diamond to place more of the work in your abdominals. Exhale, press it up for your second teaser. Lower your legs into that, moving your upper body. Exhale to the left and lower. 1 more. Bring your legs into tabletop. Tuck your tail in with control. Articulate down. Arms over your head. Lift. Oh my gosh. And exhale up into teaser. There we go. Lift your right leg up into teaser. Extend your left leg long. Don't allow it to drop. And now articulate just your body down. Like in tree. Just at the tips of your shoulder blades. And exhale up. Think of this as a combination of the warm up from the beginning and tree. Reach that leg long. The load will help you. Bring your left leg up to meet your right. Legs into tabletop. Articulate down with control. You guessed it. 1 more. Let's see if my body can do it this time. There we go. Lower your right leg so it's coming right out of your hip. Still attached to the box. Just to the tips of your shoulder blades. Reach energy out of both feet. One more. Bring your right leg to meet your left. Bring your legs into tabletop. Articulate down. Pull your knees in. Hold on behind your knees. Roll up with control. Place your feet down with control. Let's do a figure four stretch. I'm going to sit straight up for this. I don't want to lose the work in my hip flexor. I'll show you how to deepen if you'd like to. No rounding over. I'm going to take my right leg and place above my right ankle over my left, right above my left knee. So I don't have any joints. I have bone on bone. I'm going to sit straight up. I'm going to gently place my right arm over my right knee to increase the stretch. If this is not enough for you, hinge forward with a flat back. It's going to find it right here in your hip. That's where we're stretching. If you round it over, you're going to find the stretch in a different position. See if you can deepen your stretch by hinging forward or pressing just a scotch more weight into your knee. Lift it up or place your foot down. Take your left foot above your left ankle, will come above your right knee. Sit straight up, shoulders over hips. Place your left hand on your left forearm on your left knee. If you need a little bit more, which I don't on this side personally, sit up taller and hinge your body forward with a flat back. If you need a little bit more, see if you can press down just a scotch deeper. You don't want to lose the stretch deep, deep, deep inside your hip joint by rounding. Go ahead and release your leg. Carefully come off the box. We're going to do a couple cat-cows and the quadruped position with our hands on the box. Again, I know that it's tempting to wrap your fingers around the box, but let's go ahead and point our fingers forward. Again, if you have wider shoulders, you can place the box long if you like. I'm going to tuck my tail and drop my head down to look between my thighs. Don't pop your booty back to do this, but articulate your head up first, down your spine. Don't lose your rib wrap, so keep your ribs under control and reach up. And don't come here. Squeeze under your arms to lift. Now, tuck your tail and articulate all the way up. So you're in the round back or angry cat. Now, begin to lift your head, neck and shoulders squeezing under your arms and articulate down. So finally your tail comes up in cat. One more. Tail, low back, mid back, shoulders, neck, head. And now lift your head, neck, shoulders, mid back, low back, tailbone. Press back to sitting. Take a nice deep breath. Lift your arms up to the sky. Exhale your arms wide. Thank you so much for joining me for class. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.